They say names carry power, that when something is named, it becomes real. But what happens when a name is forgotten, erased? 3 brothers, north, south, west. They lived, they laughed, they died. But the 4th son, the one no one speaks of, his name was never said. Welcome. Tonight, in the rain, you'll hear a story you were never supposed to know. Not from the family, not from the village, not even from the man who lived it. His name was Aaron Miles, and this story, it begins with a return to something he thought he'd left behind. It was October, a quiet Wednesday afternoon. Aaron was working late at the bookstore where time moved like molasses. Dust, yellowed pages, the smell of ink and mildew. He lived a simple life in the city. No family, no noise, just silence, the kind he liked. But then, the letter arrived. It came with no return address, just an old wax seal. And inside, only 6 words, handwritten in shaky cursive. You've forgotten, East has not. Aaron didn't sleep that night. The Miles family cabin was buried deep in the forest, near a forgotten village called Rensfield, a place that had fallen off most maps decades ago. He hadn't been back since he was 15, not since the accident, not since the silence began. But something about the letter, something cold, drew him back. He arrived just past midnight. The rain hadn't stopped. And the cabin? It looked the same, worn, crooked, watching. Aaron stepped inside, and the first thing he noticed was the smell. Old wood, rot, and something else, like burned fabric. Every room in the cabin was cold, but one was frozen. At the end of the hallway, behind a warped wooden door, was the room that was always locked. Even when he was a child, his father never let him near it. Private, he used to say. But Aaron remembered, late at night, it would whisper. Now he had the key, left under the doormat, taped to the underside like someone expected him. When he opened it, he found a child's room, unchanged, untouched. A twin bed, a dusty red toy truck, and on the wall, 3 framed photos, north, south, west, and an empty 4th frame with burn marks around its edges. He felt it then, the air shift, as if the room had noticed him. That night, Aaron dreamed of water, of drowning in the woods, of a boy calling his name. Only it wasn't Aaron's name he was calling. It was something else. The next morning, Aaron noticed something strange. He hadn't touched the study since he arrived, but now the desk drawer was open, and something lay inside, a book, thick, bound in weathered black leather, the family journal. Inside were entries from his father, dates going back decades. But the pages weren't in order. Some were torn, others rewritten over and over. And then one page stood out. The 4th one cries in the walls. Aaron turned the page. We lock the door, but not the blood. He still comes through. The villagers didn't speak much. They closed their curtains when Aaron passed. They stared, not with anger, but fear. Only one woman would talk. Interview, Rensfield Nursing Home. You came back. just like your father said you would. Aaron, do you know what happened to the fourth boy? No one ever says his name, not since the sacrifice. Aaron, what sacrifice? Your family buried something under that cabin, dear, but it didn't stay buried. It waited, and it remembers. The next dream was more vivid, more real. He was 12 again, standing with his brothers, north, south, west. Their father was digging a hole in the basement. Their mother stood silent, and between them, a boy crying. The fourth son, smaller, paler. He didn't speak, but his eyes locked with Aaron's. Don't let them take my name. Aaron jolted awake. He was on the basement steps. The door was open, but he hadn't opened it. Carved into the basement wall was a spiral, rough, deep, bleeding from the brick. Below it, a name, or what was left of one. Only the letter E remained. The rest clawed away. The spiral wasn't just a symbol, it was a pattern, repeating, pulling things back, into memory, into history. According to the town archive, the Miles family reported a fire in 1991. But the file was empty, no photos, no report. Just one line in the ledger. Incident redacted. Witnesses relocated. One unaccounted for. Aaron remembered the fire, the screaming, the smell of skin and wood, and the face in the flames, a boy with no name. Aaron didn't remember falling asleep, but he awoke in the hallway from his childhood. The walls were lined with mirrors. He walked past the first, his reflection, the second, the same, the third, a boy, thin, barefoot, smiling. Only the smile didn't reach his eyes. Aaron stepped closer. The boy in the mirror tilted his head. You left me down there. Interview. Brensfield Sanitarium, 1987. Old tape warble. Psychiatrist. Please state your name. Caretaker. Margaret Crowley. I watched the boys. Psychiatrist. How many boys lived in the cabin? Caretaker. 4. Psychiatrist. And their names? Caretaker. Long pause. North, south, west, and the caretaker. I won't say it. He hears it. Aaron returned to the study. He tore apart the journal's binding. Inside the back cover, a folded page. Drawn in charcoal, a ring of salt, 4 candles, 4 names. In the center, symbols, struck through, scratched out. Underneath, he was the first. We were the mistake. Aaron saw it clearly now. The family gathered at the fireplace, newborns. His father whispering to the flames, north, south, west, and then the last. His mother wept. The baby didn't breathe until his name was whispered. Nothing was right after that. Aaron lit the candles, one by one. He spoke the names aloud. The air thinned, the wind howled, and when he reached the 4th, the room darkened, the candle flickered, and a voice whispered from behind him, east. The door that burst open upstairs hadn't moved in decades. It led to the attic. Aaron's father used to keep it bolted shut and nailed for good measure. But now it stood open, dark, waiting. Aaron climbed slowly. The air was different up there, warmer, almost humid. The attic floor was covered in dust, except for a single path where someone had walked recently. And in the far corner, a child's mattress, still warm. He bent down. There were scratch marks on the wall, tally marks, hundreds of them, carved by small hands, and drawn beside them, a face, not a child's, something older, watching. Interview. Rensfield Correctional Wing, Room 304. Recorded, 1995. Restricted interview. Psychiatrist. You're his uncle? Uncle James, raspy, tired. Was. Haven't seen him in 20 years. Thought he died in the fire. Psychiatrist. What fire? James. The one no one talks about. Where East stopped pretending to be a boy. Psychiatrist. Why are you the only surviving adult? James, voice lowers. Because I never said the name out loud. Aaron returned to the locked room, but this time he brought salt. He laid it in a circle, just like the ritual said, and then he stepped inside the circle and whispered, East. From the closet, the door slowly opened. A boy stepped out, but he didn't look like a boy. He looked worn, like something trying to look human. His eyes were too black, his skin too pale, and his voice, when he spoke, was Aaron's. You tried to erase me, but I remember. This time, the flashback didn't come in a dream. It hit Aaron like drowning, all at once. The truth, it wasn't the fire that changed everything. It was the ritual that came before it. His father had learned the old name, had summoned something, thinking it was a blessing. But when East was named, when breath entered that stillborn body, something else came with it. A spirit, a hunger, a wrongness too old to name. The fire was an attempt to undo it, but you can't burn away a name once it's spoken. Aaron descended into the basement again, but this time the spiral on the wall had changed. It pulsed, and when he touched it, he didn't just see the past, he heard it. North. I saw him crawling on the ceiling. South. He never blinked. West. He asked me to call him brother. Mother, crying. We named him East because he came from nowhere. Father. He was the first. We made a mistake. The spiral absorbed them all. And now it wanted Aaron too. He climbed back upstairs. Rain slammed the roof like fists. The house groaned, and every candle blew out. But Aaron stayed in the circle. He had one thing left, a match. He lit it and spoke, slowly, clearly, the one name he had never dared speak with meaning. East. A shape lunged forward, but it hit the circle and vanished. The match dropped to the floor. Aaron whispered again, this time softer. Your name was never yours.